Hi guys, Gray Buck, Major League Fishing Pro, and today I want to talk to you about a bait caster and how you adjust the drag on it. We all know the guy that leaves that sucker cranked all the way down. There's no slip in it. If that fish is going to start pulling or you get a big one on, it's going to bust you off if your line isn't able to hold up to it. So I want to show you some little tips that I have for adjusting that, because it is important to have that tight. A lot of times when you cast out there, your bait's down there, you want to see, you can see I have some slip in that one, and that's good. You want to let the rod do a lot of the work when you're hooking them, but depending on if this is a chatterbait rod, if you're flipping with a jig, obviously you want it tighter, so when you're in close, hook them, bury it up in there, because the big largemouth or even smallmouth, they have tough mouths, so you need to make sure you get good hook penetration. But to adjust this, it's very simple. You go backwards, which would be, what would that be, clockwise, loosens your drag. So you can see after I loosen that drag up here, I can loosen it way up, pulls it right off. So then if you go forward with it, which would be counterclockwise, and is actually the opposite of a spinning reel, you can see you can keep going forward, forward, forward. I can't even move that thing hardly, that starter drag there anymore. You pull on that, nothing, it's locked up. You're not going to be able to get that. So when you're fighting a fish or when you're hooking a fish, you need to have an idea of what kind of slip you want. Like I said, with a jig, you want it to be pretty much locked up, because when you flip in there, it's close contact, you hook them, they're coming towards you. A lot of times you're boat flipping them right into the boat, so you don't want that to slip on you. But when you're throwing, say, a crankbait or even this chatterbait, I like to have just a little bit. Specifically with a chatterbait rod, you can see I got a lot of parabolic bend to that, so the backbone goes to here, so I want to be able to hit them, fight them, but I want that hook to bury in it, and I don't want it to slip when I set the hook. That's the biggest thing. You don't want it to slip when you're setting the hook, but you want it that if you're fighting them, all of a sudden, example this year, I caught a 936 down at Sam Rayburn on this actually exact chatterbait setup. You're throwing that jackhammer out there. I hooked it, ripping it out of the hydrilla, and that sucker went right out to the middle of the lake. And when they do that, you know you got a big one on. Well, it does that, and I'm fighting it, and I don't want my drag to be hammered down, so because if he comes up, he's gonna shake his head, he's gonna rip that hook right out of the mouth, he'll make it too big of a hole in there. But that's the other thing, when you set that drag too tight, is it'll rip a bigger hole versus a smaller hole. So you need to make sure you get that happy medium where you can get hook penetration, and you adjust that rod to rod. But like I was saying, a lot of times with this, I'll be out there, and if I'm reeling, I hook them, I'll be fighting them, and if it feels like I can control a fish, if it's a 2, 3, 4 pounder, usually they don't have any option but coming to you. If it's a fish that gets real big, you can back that drag off just a little bit when you're fighting it. The thing is, you don't want it to slip while you're fighting that fish to the point that it gets slack in your line. You got to make sure you keep a lot of tension in there. It's better to have more than less. That's why I lean towards staying on the heavier side of the drag, but a lot of times I just want that little bit of slip in there, so when I get that initial hook set, it doesn't blow a big hole in their mouth and I lose them because when they come up jumping or something like that. That's how you adjust the drag on a favorite rod. This is the Soleus XCS. It's a great reel. I really like using this one. It does a great job. It retails, I believe, $189 is what they are. If you use my code GB20 on the favorite website, it gets you 20% off, so it'll save you whatever, 30, 40 bucks there. Highly recommend checking them out. This is a 7.3 to 1. They come in at 8.1 to 1 as well as a 6.3 to 1. So take your time, go take them a look, and if you have any questions, shoot me a message on Instagram, Facebook. It's Gray Buck Fishing, or if you put a comment below, I'll get back to you as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.